We are live. Hello, world.
Hello, world.
Hello,
You're our
world.
favorite world.
This world is my favorite world.
We accept no other worlds but you.
That's not true. We're a sci-fi fantasy show. We should accept all worlds.
Actually, that's exactly the opposite of what we do. We accept all the worlds.
You're being worldist right
It
now.
was. That's not funny.
That's not funny. We haven't started the show yet. I'm just still waiting to see if anyone comes in to hang out and watch the show.
I'm here.
You're here. Oh, I gotta turn off, make the things quiet. Gotta make the things quiet.
Hey, shut up, myself.
Shut up, me. Ridiculous.
How do I find the freaking link for this show?
Oh, I can send it to you. It's on the Google Hangout
I need
page.
the
There's
YouTube.
the links button on the right-hand side.
Yeah, but I don't see that because I'm not the person who made it happen.
Really?
Oh, wait,
Doesn't she
no, I do see that. I'm totally lying.
You're a liar.
I am a lying little liar, and these are the lies that I'm telling.
You're a pretty little liar.
I am.
Ugh. Delicious.
My login for Diamond Club isn't working.
Oh no, did they block us out?
I think I got fired.
Did we get fired?
No, actually, I think I just put it wrong in my...
Your one password?
Yeah.
Way to technology, Tom Merritt.
Haters
it's two
gonna
people.
hate.
Hey, so people who just joined, see if you can figure out how to use the Q&A app. So it's,
Ask us a question.
ask
We'll
us a
tell
question.
you no
on the Q&A
lies.
app. We don't know how to tell you guys how to use it.
Oh, no, here. I'm in.
You're in what, Diamond Club?
Yeah, it was not adding my entire password for some reason.
Throw it out the window.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
What
so
happened?
people have
Hey, we're going to be
complained-
having our 200th episode after the first of the year.
I know. We got to do something special.
Yeah.
We'll
Like
figure
we
it out.
should bring the band back together.
We are the band. We're the only
Oh.
band.
Right. Never
We've been
mind.
the same band forever, unless we add Josh into the band.
Let's start a band.
Let's just start a band. That'll be what we do for. We're already working on a hit song, so it's just one more thing to do.
So what is this? 197?
197. Guys, have you figured out how to use the Q&A app yet? I'm really curious.
I'm not seeing any Q's or
I'm not
A's.
seeing any Q's nor A's. We don't know how to use it. We know how to see them when they come up, but I don't know how to tell people how to use
Hey,
it.
look, I did it. I made us live on diamondclub.tv.
Huzzah. All right, should we start the show?
Yeah, let me tweet that we're live there.
Okay.
Sort
Hate
of-
us gonna hate.
Oh, take down. You don't pay the mechanical for it.
I'm singing it in my head. You don't even know.
They're going to send a takedown notice to your head. Wait, before we start the actual show, I just want people to understand that I paid the custard that I owed.
Oh, Taryn sent us a Q.
Oh, hi, Taryn.
I am A-ing her Q. Yes. I can see your Q and your
Is my
A's.
Q visible to be A'd? Yes.
Right. Cool. Okay, so it works.
Let's go. Let's rock this party.
Okay, you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. And 3, 2. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Sword and Laser. I'm Veronica Belmont.
And I'm Tom Merritt.
Sword and Laser is a book club, but it's so much more. We bring you author interviews, news from the world of science fiction and fantasy, and, of course, awesome discussions from fans like you.
All right. Our show is currently entirely funded by you, as a matter of fact. So I really need to pay attention to that because patrons at patreon.com/swordandlaser are what makes this show happen. Thanks to all the folks who back the show. You are why we're here. We're able to be here now. There's no other masters but you. If you would like to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/swordandlaser.
All right, let's kick things off with what are we drinking? Tom, drinking something festive today?
No. Well,
Got anything?
I'm drinking the milk of human kindness.
That's disgusting.
Why is that?
I don't know why. It just sounded disgusting.
It depends on where the milk of human kindness comes from, I suppose. makes a big difference. No, I came down empty-handed. I'm running around like crazy doing like last-minute errands before the holidays here, and so I had to order some custard for somebody. I had to pick up some oysters, and I didn't mean to, but I ran down without a drink. So
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel bad. I'm drinking the Tullamore Dew that Kevin Hearn gave us.
Oh, I like
So
to
you
have
must be a
that.
little jelly, I'm
I'm
afraid.
quite jealous.
But
Mostly
yeah, it
jealous.
is. It is. I've been working on some holiday cocktails for Thanksgiving this week. I'm very excited. Something kind of like a Negroni, but a little more festive, made with apple
Ooh, a
cider.
festive holiday Negroni, you say?
Yes.
Tell me more.
Well, it's
I
actually
mean,
Ryan.
pour me
It's a
one.
recipe Ryan, my husband, found.
Oh,
And so
cool.
we tested it out the other night, and it was awesome. So I'm very excited to premiere that. Nothing eggnog related. That's for
Mm,
later. I'll get
gotcha.
drunk on eggnog later.
Yeah, well, you're going to get some festive frozen concretes of custard from Ted Drew's.
Is that so? Yeah, Tom and I made a little bet back in the day, back in ye old days of the World Series, of ye old World Series. No, was it the World Series or was it
Yeah, it
the
was the National League
It
Championship
was the
Series.
championships, right? Because it was when the Cards were playing the Giants, and a little gentleman's bet, if you will. And if we won the Giants, Tom had to buy my husband and I his favorite custard, send it to us to enjoy. And if we lost, if the Giants lost, then we would send you ice cream from our favorite place. And so, as history bore out, the Giants won the championship and went on to win the World Series. And so, I've been waiting pretty patiently, I might add, pretty effing patiently. And Thanksgiving rolled around, and I'm like, I have to go pick up some ice cream for my guests who can't eat pie. Where's that custard at? I really could have used that custard right about now. So I
Yeah,
sent some threatening text messages.
they were mildly threatening.
A little threatening.
I had a small amount of fear for my life.
You should, with good reason.
And then I got on the phone to Ted Drew's, and they were very nice, by the way. They were
So
laughing.
what's it? Oh, you told them why
Because
you
they're
were buying the
basically
ice
like,
cream?
it's going to be really expensive. And I'm like, I lost a bet. And they're like, oh, so you kind of have to. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of stuck.
Oh, I feel kind of bad. I guess it would have been expensive for us to do the same
It
thing.
would, yeah, exactly. No, that was the bet. I'm not trying to like complain about that. That was the known stakes that we had. But they were laughing. They're like, oh, well, you're not getting out of it now, are you?
I can't wait. I'm so excited. All right, but let's move on to the actual first part of the show, the quick burns. All right, well, we have one from Sandra who says Philip K. Dick's short story, The Crawlers, is getting a big screen adaptation. We cover a lot of adaptation news here on the show, and we're actually wrapping up a Philip K. Dick book this month, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And as soon as this ad on the wrap stops loading and covering the entire page full of ad, I can
It's the
explain more about it.
Crawlers. That's the name of the short story. Philip K. Dick, his short stories are a gold mine for adaptation.
Well, all of his stuff really is. I mean, we've got Blade Runner, we've got Scanner Darkly, we have Total Recall,
Minority Report.
Minority Report. What else am I missing?
Oh, we could go on forever. The Crawlers is set in the late 60s and follows a government land surveyor as he wanders off course into Boyle, Texas, interacts with some strange, secretive residents, follows a trail of disturbing rumors, unearths the town's terrifying history, probably wrestles with the nature of reality, and falls sort of for a girl with sharp features and dark hair.
It sounds like a
Those last two
horror.
parts are just in every Philip K. Dick story.
Is this a scary book? Is
Yeah,
this
this
a
is this
scary
is on the
movie?
horror. The Daddy Thing was the first Philip K. Dick story I ever read, and it was about aliens coming down and like taking the skin of humans and replacing them, and the
Oh,
children like trying to figure out if that had happened to their parents or not. So he does get in. He does like edge into horror sometimes.
oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll skip this one.
Yeah. Instead, you should watch Ursula K. Le Guin's acceptance of the National Book Foundation Medal for Distinguished Contribution to American Letters at the 65th National Book Awards on November 19th, because everybody, including David, who posted this in the Quick Burns, is just like going crazy.
Yeah,
For it.
she's kind of a badass. And we'll let you guys watch yourself to hear what she has to say. I didn't get a chance to watch the acceptance speech yet, so unfortunately I'm a little bit behind.
Just one little quote that David picked out. He said, "We will need writers who can remember freedom."
Hmm. Yeah, she is a badass. In fact, I heard her someone quoted her about Gosh, I can't remember. So much has been going on in the country this week. I can't remember if it was in reference to Ferguson or if it was in reference to immigration reform. But I saw someone quoting her on Twitter the other day, maybe perhaps even from this acceptance speech in reference to one of those two, very pivotal events that we are going through right now in our nation's history. So yeah, she's brilliant, very smart woman, and it's definitely worth a watch. I've added it to my to-watch list.
She had some choice words for Amazon in there, not by name, but she called them a profiteer.
A profiteer. Well, they are, in fact, a profiteer.
Mm-hmm. They're certainly, well, the Wall Street might disagree since their profiteer margins are very high.
Has not been very good.
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there.
Interesting. And we have another post from Terp Kristen who says, the follow-up to Brandon Sanderson's first Legion novelette, short story, something, came out on November 24th. It will be free from Audible for the first month based on his blog post. The first story was Legion, and the next is Legion Skin Deep. So you can download that over on Audible. Right now, it is for free. I think I will probably do that.
It's kind of like, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
If you're an Audible subscriber and you're not going to have to spend a credit on it, get it. And I think the other thing here is this is probably going to bring a lot of people into Audible who want to get the free book. Mm-hmm. But it's not an advertisement deal, You just get a free book. It's pretty awesome.
Totes.
I'm adding it to my cart right now.
Me too. I was also. That's kind of why there was an awkward pause there for a second.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll talk about what phone. I'm going to say phone because he's writing about Patrick Rothfuss. Pointed out Pat Rothfuss's World Builders is once again running a science fiction fantasy lottery and auction to benefit Heifer International. They kicked it off last week.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. Actually, I found out about it because my local sci-fi fantasy bookstore, Borderlands, tweeted about it last night. I was actually over there for our in-person Sword and Laser monthly meetup, which was awesome, by the way. So many great regulars showing up. We had a great time. And there's a lot of good stuff on this auction. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so definitely check it out if you want to donate to a good cause and get some rad
Wow. The entire Cards Against Humanity, all of it?
All of it.
First edition hardcover of Red Rising, signed by Pierce Brown.
Where are you seeing all the potential of
map from Kevin Hearn's Iron Druid Chronicles by Priscilla Spencer, signed by Kevin and Priscilla.
Oh crap! I'm definitely gonna jump in here and get some stuff, awesome. Or try to get some stuff. Oh, there's so many.
Chronicles sterling silver charm bracelet with over 40 charms.
I want this map of the Iron Druid Chronicles. I want
First edition, first printing hardcover of Fool's Assassin, signed by Robin Hobb.
All right. Well, oh, what? Where do you see that? Where is that? Where is it at? Where is it at, Tom?
5 days, 1 hour left.
Oh my God!
I just clicked I clicked on worldbuilders.org. I just clicked on the
I'm
auctions.
looking at it.
It's just if you just scroll down, it's down there.
How much should I? All right, the current bid is $81. Wait, I already. I wish it was Assassin's Apprentice. Like, I know I get that it's her new book, but I kind of wish it was.
Why can't it be another book?
Make it be another book. I'll pay more money if it's another book. God.
Well, why don't you get the map of Mike Cole's Shadow Ops World signed by Mike and artist Priscilla Spencer?
Well, because I want the map of Kevin Hearn's Iron Druid Chronicle.
Well, get that one then.
All right, I'm going to bid on that one right now. I'm going to bid.
Bid on all of them. All of them.
Oh, great. Now that I talked about it on the show, people are going to out. Yeah, that's what I just said now that I did it publicly.
For a good cause.
Coles are
I just spent all my money on concretes, but I'm still going to bid.
Why do you keep calling them concretes?
Because that's what they are. They're custard concretes. That's the local name for them.
I've been outbid by an automatic bid placed lower by another bidder.
Oh, okay. This is you need to take a step back. Before
I've been bid up again. Now I'm at $85. Now I'm at $86. Now I'm at $88. Now I'm at $90. Oh my God! How much did they freaking bid?
You're just playing like a sniper now.
Price on a bicycle. All right, I'm going to $100. $100. I've already been outbid. Jesus Christ. All right, whatever. Fine. Kevin Hearn. Kevin Hearn, can I just send you $100 and can you just send me this map and then you can give it to World Builders? Come on. Let's just make this happen. What do I have to do to get this map?
I think that's abusing your position.
Is that unfair? Is that an unfair advantage? All right. Moving on. Go ahead, Tom. Oh, it's me. Sorry.
It's
moving
you.
on, Veronica. David writes, Wesley Chu has re-signed with Angry Robot Books in a six-figure deal. He's writing a new standalone trilogy set in the same universe as his Tau series. He says, David says, I don't follow Angry Robot that closely, but I hadn't realized that Chu was having such success as to get such a big deal to follow on his original trilogy. I liked The Lives of Tau a lot, and I thought it had a nice bit of charm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw this on Wesley's Twitter, actually, and I'm really excited for him. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I happened to see that. I don't read every post that comes through my Twitter because there's too many, but I did happen to see that one come through, so I was excited for him.
Yeah, I'm really excited for him.
Both Michelle and Rob pointed out the big news that Amazon and Hachette reached an agreement. Many of their book prices have dropped, and books are being shipped out much quicker, so essentially they're back to normal. You can pre-order Hachette titles on Amazon and everything. It looks like Hachette won. Because basically Hachette gets to do the agency model where they determine the price. What Amazon got was the ability to like give them a little more share of the profit if they met lower prices that Amazon wanted, but Hachette can still control the pricing, which is what they wanted, and so they win the most. Where
do authors fit into this? Who ends up winning in that war?
You know, I hate to say because I don't really know. Ask an author. Because I want to say the authors win if Hachette wins, sort of. But then if Amazon's right, and I'm not saying they are, but if they are right, and having lower prices would sell more books, then selling more books would be more royalties for the authors. So I don't know. Who really wins is that their little stupid fight is over, and us people who buy books don't have to deal with that stupid crap anymore. Which is how I felt about it.
Still bidding.
I'm like, I don't hate publishers, but they're both big businesses, and Veronica just got in her auction. How much did you have to go to?
I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell anybody because then they'll just
public.
Go
I can go to eBay and I'm just going to look.
Oh, don't go look. It's $127.
Oh, well, you just told me. Okay.
I told you. That's a lot of money.
To say Amazon and Hachette, they're both big companies. And I'm sure there's lots of authors who have great relationships with Hachette and say lovely things about them, so I don't want to talk them down. I publish things on Amazon. Sometimes they're great. Sometimes they have restrictive things that really are trying to force me into their monopolistic empire. But, whatever. Like, it's whatever's best for authors and readers hopefully will end up being what happens.
That's what matters, exactly. Bookshelf writes, next year HBO will have a new series, Westworld, with Anthony frickin' Hopkins, an adaptation of Michael Crichton's 1973 novel of the same name. Always happy to get more sci-fi goodness onto television, and HBO has just been hitting it out of the park with their stuff recently. So this is J.J. Abrams and Jonathan Nolan. They created a pilot for this, the adaptation, and apparently there's some really amazing people that are fleshing out the cast so far. So we've got Anthony Hopkins, as I mentioned, James Marsden, Evan Rachel Wood, and Thandie Newton are going to portray androids that can be killed and replaced frequently. And so they get to then play a lot of different kinds of characters because I'm assuming they're the same model of android. It's kind of like Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
Rachel Rosen, Pris Stratton. Right. Yeah.
So that's, and the cast has apparently already signed multi-year deals for this too. So
Ed Harris is in it.
Wow! Oh my goodness. Yeah. So this is going to be pretty cool. I think it has to do. It's like a theme park, right? So this is pretty rad. I'm always excited about new projects like this, especially something. I mean, J.J. Abrams is so good. He's pretty rad, and this cast sounds amazing. So can we talk about Jurassic World for a second?
Sure. I didn't get a chance to watch the trailer yet today, though.
Oh!
Everybody's like going crazy about it.
All right, so the trailer's come out. Of course, this is going to be the one with what's his face, Chris Pratt, and I love him. And so Jurassic Park is like my favorite movie of all time. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, Jurassic Park is probably in my top 3, if not my top favorite movie.
It's my example of people getting overhyped about something and you not enjoying it as much because you go to see it after they told you how great it was.
Is that how you feel?
I call it the Jurassic Park effect because I didn't see it the week it came out and everybody was talking about how great it was, and when I went and saw it I was like, well, it was okay.
What are you talking? What do you mean it was just okay? That's baloney.
Anyway,
Anyway, I watched the trailer, and I'm
I'm
just
watching
like,
it right now.
what I'm curious about is why did they ever think? Why did they ever think it was a good idea to build that park? Did they not learn anything from past mistakes? Did they not say, "Hey
Okay, so
guys,
that's the premise here, is that
after-"
they've actually gone ahead and built the park finally,
Yeah,
even
apparently.
though they had a horrible disaster there. Yeah, that seems like an awful idea.
Like what is the they're crazy. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, and we're going to make some crazy super like intelligent genetically engineered dinosaurs that never even existed in nature. Let's do that." That sounds like a really great
You
idea.
know what we should do is smarter velociraptors.
It'll be a scientific marvel, yeah. And then Chris Pratt's like, "I don't think this is a good idea, you guys." And then stands there looking all sexy. And then, yeah, and then
It
of
looks pretty
course,
freaking amazing, actually.
it almost looks like he's broing down with the velociraptors at one point towards the
Whoa,
end. Like
look
he's
at the
actually
shark.
he's on a motorcycle with the velociraptors. They're not attacking him. He's like running with them. So are they bros? Maybe they're bros. Is he part of the pack? That would be cool.
Is he a vibrosiraptor?
Brosiraptor, perhaps. But I'm
Velocibroster?
I mean, the other two movies are, you know, all the other movies were bad, other than the first one. So I don't have like really high hopes, but I'm hoping they learned from time. You know, they can look
It
back
looks
on this
pretty.
with the advantage of time and knowledge and make it okay.
Can we see David Goldblum again?
Jeffrey Goldblum?
Jeffrey Goldblum. Why did I say David? His name isn't
Is that his
David.
brother? That's his like weird estranged brother, David Goldblum.
Sorry, I was looking at Chris Pratt's face and it distracted me.
Goldblum. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I can relate to that.
He's a
All
very
right.
compelling man.
We
no
should
matter
move
what
on.
your
I can talk
preference
about
is.
Jurassic Park all day.
Okay, yeah. I was watching the trailer while you were talking. So
Oh, did you get to the part with the motorcycles and the velociraptors yet?
No, Chris Pratt doesn't come until like 2/3 of the way through. Okay, now he's jogging with them, or maybe he's running away from them. I'm not sure. Now
No, you'll
everyone's
know
running.
when he's in the motorcycles with the velociraptors. You'll know.
Yeah, this is more of the like getting hunted. All right, let's talk about picks. We're highlighting picks from our Kickstarter. We have threads that are posted in Goodreads group. Only one more to go, and we're collecting your thoughts and comments on the books. When we post it, please toss them around. We'll talk about what you guys say on each show until we've covered all 6. These are not official book picks. They're just a way to expose folks to a few more options of things to read out there, and we'd especially love to hear from folks who've already read these.
Yeah, and this week's pick is The Secret Route by D.S. Carr, which was Carr, C-A-H-R, which was suggested by Ira. Thanks, Ira. So we've got some great comments on here already, and in fact, the author, D.S. Carr, has jumped into the thread. He says, I hope everyone here takes the opportunity to check out the book and talk about it with the folks at Sword and Laser before the next podcast. He says he's thrilled that so many people have loved the book, and he's very hard at work on book 2 in the series. And so that's pretty awesome. And Ira says he's exposed a lot of people to this book, and so he's happy to expose even more people. It was a very thoughtful and fun take on time travel and harder sci-fi and YA trappings. And Louise says that she really liked the book, but would probably never have heard of it if it weren't for Ira and Sword and Laser. I found it to be an interesting book that reminds me of plenty of other stories in books and on TV, but as I said in my review, I think that I'm supposed to be reminded of parts of other stories, since that seems to be maybe part of the premise, at least in the way I'm reading it. I liked it, and I'm glad that Ira recommended it. So if you want something a little bit different, check out The Secret Route by D.S. Carr.
Yeah, the plot is that the entire Garber family is ripped from their Kansas home, separated and transported into a distant and perplexing future, disconnected from everything he understands. Poor 15-year-old Jared Garber must quickly learn how and why he was taken from his prior life back in Kansas. When Eddie Boyd receives ominous notes in her school locker that ask difficult questions about the nature of time, she knows they have to be about the Garbers, and whoever knows the truth is trying to let Edie in on the secret. But when she and her friend Meg investigate, they're sent to a time when their own families believe them dead. Their friends are all adults, and the world has been radically transformed. So cyberspace, parallel worlds, time travel, if you're into that sort of thing, you might want to check out The Secret Route.
And I'm really excited because the next pick is going to be The City in the City by China Mieville, as suggested by Andrew. We have a link to that over on Goodreads. And I'm excited about that because I love that book. I love China Mieville. It's a super kind of creepy, awesome book. And I think you guys will really enjoy it if you haven't read it yet. So yeah, this is not an official book, as we said. It's just something we're reading on the side to thank our Kickstarters, Kickstarter backers for their support of Season 2 of Sword and Laser Video. So thank you.
And you can find more upcoming releases at swordandlaser.com/calendar. If you just want to see what's coming out soon, click the link. And we're just saying, if you buy the book through that link, it actually helps the show.
All right. Well, now it is time for Bury Your Sword, which is our feedback from the audience. Our first one comes from Marion, who says, what is the one book or series you would give away to someone who is reading sci-fi fantasy for the very first time? Interesting.
This is interesting. Instead of just recommendation, but like hand them the book. Here, take this. You'll need it.
So her selection is The Sparrow by Mary Doria Russell as the one book that she would give to someone. She said, I read this wonderful novel finally last year, and I've given several copies away since reading it. And she's got a link to her review as well. John says Ringworld, which I think is a great selection.
Yep, Mistborn books by Brandon Sanderson. Terry Pratchett's The Color of Magic. Alex says, but I've actually tried that, and people balk at the first book of a series that's a bajillion books long. Thing to remind people about when you give them Terry Pratchett is, it's not a series like you have to read them all, because that's like a lifelong occupation to try to read all of the Terry Pratchett, although plenty of people have done it. It's more like, hey, this is something to read, and if you like it, you know there's going to be a bunch in the universe. Because it's not really Discworld isn't really like a linear series that you have to complete the way, say, Game of Thrones is.
And that's what I like about the Discworld books, is that you really can jump around. And we've talked about that chart that kind of graphs out the interconnectedness of all the different series under the Discworld umbrella. Like the Wee Freeman and the Tiffany Aching series, and what are some of the other ones? Those are the ones I've read, so of course those are the first two that pop into my mind. But I mean, there's like a million bajillion different books and series under that umbrella. And then Turp Kristen, because she's a big know-it-all, points to 3 other threads in a similar vein. Like if you had to suggest one sci-fi or fantasy book to someone who had never read in the genre before, what would you select? So, it's a popular topic because it's something I think we've all dealt with. We've all tried to expose someone to these genres that we love so much, that we're so passionate about. And so, of course, you want to make sure you pick something really good so you don't screw it up.
By the way, Gatawag in the chat room points out that after a bunch of safety recalls, manufacturers still make cars. Jurassic World is the same thing, but with deadly dinosaurs who can't be contained.
Also, I kind of forgot we had a chat room for this episode.
Another thread over on the Goodreads forum, Rob Secunda says, I have only 1 credit left in my Audible subscription before we part ways for a while. And I'd really like to get my money's worth out of it. Does anyone have any recommendations for really good 24-plus hour audiobooks? It can be something outside of fantasy or science fiction, as long as it's huge and a fun listen with a good narrator.
A fun listen. Okay, well then I have to take back my pick. Because I wouldn't call it especially
because it's a drudgery that you were going to recommend.
It's 84 hours of like vaguely using reads, but I was going to recommend 1Q84, which was also
that's good.
Sword and Laser pick, but it is monstrously long.
Light. It's not lightweight.
No, it's not a lightweight.
Good. The Great North Road, if you want a good mystery that's mashed up with sci-fi by Peter Hamilton, absolutely amazing. It's long, but it's really, really good. I don't know if it's fun listen, but it's got a great narrator because he's speaking in the accent. A lot of it takes place in northern Scotland, and not northern Scotland, but Scotland, which is the northern part of the Isle of Britain, which is why I said northern. Anyway, it's really good. So I would recommend that. Or I'm just picked up the Bone Clocks, which clocks in just 24 hours, and so far so good. I'm only an hour into it, so I don't know if I could really recommend it, but it comes highly recommended.
And I don't know how long it is, but Tina Fey's book is really funny in audiobook form.
Bossy Pants?
Bossy Pants. It's probably not long enough for you, but if you want something really fun, that is definitely a winner. And I'm gonna read what's her friend's book. Well, there's
Amy Poehler?
I want to read Amy Poehler's book, yes, and I also want to read Mindy.
Mindy Kaling.
Her name is Mindy. Okay, her name is Mindy on the show too. Why am I forgetting her name? Oh yeah, Whiskey. So All of those are on my to-read list for Audible because I like listening to fun stuff.
There you
All
go.
right,
Still some good fun stuff.
absolutely. Now it is time for our Book of the Month discussion, and we're going to announce this month's book pick, and then we're going to jump into a spoilery discussion of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? So if you haven't read that book, or if you haven't watched Blade Runner, I guess, feel free to zone out or,
Actually,
next episode.
even if you've seen Blade Runner, our discussion will spoil the book because the book's quite different.
So I hear. So I keep hearing. I still haven't seen the movie.
But Veronica, what are we going to read next month? What'd you pick for us? What'd you pick?
All right, next month pick is The Night Circus by Aaron Morgenstern. Aaron Morgenstern. I've wanted to read this for a while, and when I announced it, people got very excited. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I have been so far. I just picked it up, and in fact, surprise, surprise, I have a copy of the book to give away.
That's a nice looking copy, too.
Yeah, I bought this at Borderlands last night at our book club meetup, and so we're going to do a little, not really a contest, more a drawing. So if you are a Patreon subscriber at patreon.com/swordandlaser, if you're a subscriber at any level, you will automatically be entered to win. We'll do the drawing probably at the end of this week to give you a little time to listen to the show and get your name in the hat. So yeah, Friday I'll pick a winner, and then I'll email you.
So let's do this. You have to be a patron by Thursday. Because you'll draw it on Friday, and you don't want somebody going, well, wait a minute, I signed up to be a Patreon at 8:30 p.m. on Friday, but you did the drawing at 6, so she's going to do the drawing on Friday, but we're saying become a Patreon by Thursday if you want to be in on the drawing.
Absolutely. And then I'll shoot you an email, and you'll send us your address, and then we'll send you the book. And a book club, stickers and doodads and the whatnot.
Yeah, whatnots. We got all kinds of whatnots. All right. Take a breath. People, time to turn it off if you don't want to be spoiled, because we're going to talk about Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, a.k.a. Blade Runner, the novelization, which irks me still. Every time I turned on my audiobook and I saw the Blade Runner was the title, I was just like, ugh, it's not Blade Runner. And I know you've never seen the movie. There actually is more Blade Runner in there than I remembered going back through it again. I was like, oh, that's actually kind of similar. And it's J.F. Sebastian, not J.R. Isidore. There's no Mercer in Blade Runner at all. There's no Buster Friendly at all.
Yeah, there's no electric animals, right?
There are electric animals, but they're very much a sideline. He runs through a shop that makes electric animals, and I think somebody has an owl. I think the Tyrell guy, a guy at the Tyrell Corporation, has an owl. That's electric, but it's not a plot point the way it's like the plot point in the book.
Oh, well, I'm kind of disappointed. Because I read the book first. I'm one of those guys now that read the book before I saw the movie. And
I actually think it's fine because you can now go see the movie and not be thinking like, I want to see the book Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep turned into a movie. You're seeing a movie, you're like, oh, that's kind of like Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep.
So where does the name Blade Runner come from?
Blade Runner in the movie is what they call the bounty hunters because they run the blade through the androids. They use laser guns, but it's kind of an old-fashioned name for a bounty hunter.
Oh, okay.
And in the movie that's set in Los Angeles of the future, and there's they make a big deal out of how it's like as Asian as it is North American now, and there's this big mix of the Asian culture in. So he's eating noodles.
That's cool, and that's probably also accurate.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good representation of what the future probably will be.
Yeah, that's one part of that movie that's held up, and there's nothing I see today that would contradict that from still happening someday in the future. So.
Yeah. My other question was, why did they need to switch it to Los Angeles? Why couldn't it have been San Francisco still?
I don't know.
Weird, pointless change.
Also, the Tyrell Corporation is in Los Angeles. He doesn't go to Seattle to go to the Rosen Corporation.
Haters.
Yeah. Basically, what they did is they said, "Well, that's an interesting world with interesting characters. It's fanfic. Let's write our own story." It's basically what Ridley Scott's story, and I don't have a problem with that because Blade Runner is a really good movie and a really good story. So as long as you don't think of it as being the same as Do Androids Dream of Electric
So
Sheep.
have I already ruined it for myself by having read the book first?
No, I don't think so. That's what I'm saying, is like you can enjoy them side by side and be like, oh, there's some similarities, but they're not even the same story. There's just some similar themes, I guess, is what I would say.
Well, let's jump into some of your discussions of Dados. Drew says, I just finished the book, and my immediate takeaway is something I find a little weird. I'm a little sad that the toad turned out to be electric. I know how you feel. When Deckard found it, I thought we had a happy ending where he could get the mentioned prize for finding an extinct animal and live the life he thought he should with Iran. I'm not sure why I'm dwelling on that detail, but I can't stop thinking about what could have happened in the end. Yeah! Like, why couldn't it have been a real toad? And is it supposed to make us think like, oh, this electric toad has somehow gotten out into the wild. Maybe it's just like the real androids, like they're just kind of out in the world and doing their own thing and becoming a part of this existence on planet Earth. Like, what is the takeaway there? Why couldn't it just have been a real toad?
Philip K. Dick really loves to hit hard on the message of what is reality. Like, what is actually real anyway? And all through this book, he's been slapping you in the face like a man with a fish with the idea that, are the androids really different than us? Maybe I'm an android and I don't know it. Or maybe a schizophrenic would like kind of show up on this test to be an android. And if you don't care about androids, does that mean you don't have empathy? Like, he's really kind of trying to hit you in the face of like, is there really a difference? If all the difference is like requires a bone marrow test and a weird couple of tests for empathy, are they really that different? And should they have any less rights? And I think the electric toad is supposed to show you that Decker still isn't dealing with that. He's valuing this toad so much when he thinks it's quote unquote real, and then when he finds out it's electric, he's dashed. And it's supposed to make you realize like it's all in his head. The toad's
except
still
for the fact
toad.
that all the androids are total a-holes in the whole book.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, except for maybe the opera singer.
Yeah, Roy Batty is, for sure.
Yeah, pretty much every android we come across.
The opera singer, she's all right, and Irmgard is all right. Pris is, I like Pris in the movie much better than this Pris. This Pris is
but they all kind of do things where you're like, oh, all right, I see now why you are not actually empathetic.
Decker's really not all that sympathetic all the time either.
So in the future, everyone are assholes.
I was going to say everyone's dicks.
Everybody. Oh, that was so much better. So much better. I failed you as a punster. Damn it. We made so many dick jokes last night at the meetup. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it's kind of unavoidable. And I wrote a response to this thread to Drew, kind of basically saying some of what I just said, and I just avoided saying his name because it was going to make me laugh. And I was like, no, I'm trying to be serious.
But people have differing opinions on what the toad really meant. And they were also sad it didn't make it into the movie. It seems like a lot of the stuff with the animals didn't.
I forgot. I think Leon, who is basically a version of I can't remember, the Kolopchik or whatever his name is in the book. Leon has a snake. He has an electric snake in the movie.
Kind of like there's an electric snake in our recent vaginal fantasy pick as well.
Is that right? I imagine it does different things than the one in Blade Runner.
No, it doesn't. No.
Well, the one in Blade Runner just dies.
All right, well, this one unlocks locks and attacks people and stuff, but it's not.
It does a lot of different things.
Like
I don't know why you denied it.
Well, because I thought you were making a sex joke.
Oh, no.
And now I'm creeped out. At my own thoughts. My own thoughts creeped me out.
I mean, the show's called Vaginal Fantasy. It's not that big of a leap.
It's not. It's not really.
That there might be a sexy snake somewhere in one of the books you're reading. Let's talk about something else. Jay posted, is everyone a vegetarian or is meat only for the richest people in Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're supposed to assume that everyone is vegetarian because there's such a huge amount of importance put on empathy. And, even we kind of jumped into this conversation a little bit last time, but, they equate being empathetic with not wanting to harm any kind of living creature. including animals to eat for meat. So I think that's kind of the thing. So I don't think anyone who wants to have any kind of place in society eats meat because of that in this world.
Well, and not even just that. I mean, that's all true, but the price of animals, right? When you've got a guidebook that's telling you like animals are thousands of dollars, who in their right mind would kill one and eat it?
Exactly.
Like you'd have to be not just super rich, like you'd have to be like filthy mega dumb rich to be like, yeah, I'm gonna eat an animal. That's how rich I am.
$10,000 animal.
Yeah.
And also convince everyone that I'm a psychopath because
right, exactly.
Animal. So you have to be crazy and rich.
So I think everybody's eating textured proteins. And then because there aren't any animals, and if you eat an animal, it's not like eating your car because that would poison you, but you wouldn't like melt your car down and make a sculpture out of it.
Yeah, well, it's like, or if you raised prized thoroughbreds, for show horses, and they were, a $50,000 horse, and you were like, nah, I'm just gonna eat it.
Actually, dogs. Like people raise like thoroughly pedigreed dogs. It'd be like taking that to a country where they eat dogs and selling it.
Well, did I talk? Yeah. Did I talk about that on the last episode where I went to China? And this is not a China eating dogs. Well, actually, it is, because in some parts of China, when there were starvation issues during the Cultural Revolution and other times of severe starvation during winter, it is on record that domesticated animals were eaten, like dogs and cats. And yeah, it's either that or you die. But the point of the matter is, it's not right for us as Western civilization to judge people for doing that, because they're animals. Like we either eat them or we don't. Like, why do we prize one animal over another? And I understand that we have this disconnect because I love my dog like a baby. I don't even know how to love babies because I don't have a baby, but I assume it's somewhere around how much I love my dog. I can't imagine eating her, but if I was gonna die, no, I probably wouldn't eat her. I'd probably die.
It would be a heart-wrenching decision.
It would be the worst. It would be absolutely the worst.
But until you're actually starving and like, well, I'm going to die, you can't really say what you're going to do.
You can't. You can't
That's a whole
judge
different
another
situation.
human being for making those kind of choices. Do I judge the dudes from the airplane crash in the Andes Mountains for eating their dead bros? No, I don't, because they were going to die.
Because I was going to say, yeah, I draw the line at cannibalism.
No, I don't even draw the line at cannibalism.
There's a point where you can't really like understand. Like, I can judge. I can sit here and judge all day long if I want, but I will not really be able to understand what those people were faced with.
No.
You just can't.
I tell people all the time, "Oh, I'm going to eat you first. You look delicious." If we're in a situation where this is happening,
you said that a lot more when I was fatter. I've noticed since I started exercising.
Does that make you feel good or bad? Does that make you feel like, is that a compliment or a diss? It
motivated me to become healthier and less marble in your eyes.
All that marbled fat on there, like, that's going to be real life-sustaining.
I mean, honestly, you look at it. Look at me, old videos on CNET, and I've got the puffy face. Then I meet Veronica, know her for a couple of years, the hungry look in her eyes. I started getting fit. I started losing weight.
I eat people.
I know what side her meat is buttered on.
I don't get that reference.
I don't either.
Is that like on the butt side? Like, what do you?
Trying to make a bread is buttered, she eats people joke, but it just didn't materialize.
It didn't pan out.
No.
Didn't
materialize.
I don't know what's happening. Anyway, moving on. Veronica's a cannibal. Let's jump into the next discussion. John says, I find it interesting how Dick describes casual lack of empathy. Perhaps the first is when John meets Pris. She's described as wearing only pajama bottoms, as if for Pris being topless around a strange man isn't odd at all. Later on, it's during the vote when Roy Batty casually says he would prefer to kill John and hide elsewhere right in front of John. Dick doesn't describe these developments as shocking. He simply tells the story and lets the reader decide.
Yeah, I had a hard time with this one, especially because I want to confuse the Pris from the movie with this Pris.
Mm-hmm.
And the Pris from the movie is a pleasure model, like avowedly, that when Deckard gets the documents, that's what it says she is. Whereas in the book, he makes a big point of like, that's not allowed. Androids can't be used for sex, even though they are. But it's like, it's an illegal thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, she's not doing this because that's her job, but maybe she's doing it because that's how she got things. That's how she got out of Mars. So maybe that's her way of like playing things up. But I kind of think John's right. It's more of just like a lack of caring or awareness. It's like,
Well, the thing, I mean, the probably the least empathetic moment that I remember from the book is when Deckard just sleeps with Rebecca. He's got this wife at home, and he's like, just like, eh. Like it's almost as though he doesn't even count her as
Rachel?
cheating. Rachel.
Yeah. Who's Rebecca?
Yeah, who's this Rebecca? I read the additional reading materials with Rebecca the android.
Okay.
But yeah, he's just like, he doesn't seem to care that he's cheating. Maybe he doesn't count it as cheating because she is an android. Just that like, whatever. My wife is at home. I've been doing all this to kind of like elevate our family to a higher status by getting a better animal in the house, and now I'm just gonna go, do this android chick. Like, what's that all about? Like, there's so much. Basically, because that other guy was like, oh, you should sleep with an android sometime. All right, maybe I will.
Yeah, he's obviously unhappy in his marriage, and I feel like that's part of what's going on there. But you're right.
Oh, so he's excused from
no,
his,
I'm not saying, I'm not saying he's excused. I'm saying that there is more emotional content there because of that, right? He's lashing out, but it doesn't feel like it, and I think that's part of something. And somebody said that. Allie said, I found that his whole writing style was like this. It was infuriating to me, wanting to know the thought process that was going on through characters' heads and not getting it. You get it from Decker a little bit, but yeah, that is not something that Philip K. Dick is as strong or is as important to him, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the characters were pretty eminently unlikable, with the exception of Isidore, I would say. And I wanted to talk to you about this because I mentioned this in the book club meetup. Is he smarter than he lets on? Is he smarter than he thinks he is? Is he not actually a chicken head? Is he actually a genius?
I don't think he's a genius, but I think, again, Philip K. Dick likes to play with, like, what is reality? What are your expectations, and how much are your expectations shaping people? And I think he's trying to show, here's this person that is, also, what is it? When you
ostracized?
Yeah, he's ostracized by society. He's called a chicken head. And yes, he has problems. He definitely has issues, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's pretty apparent that he's socially awkward and he's deathly afraid of getting on the phone and he's a little weird in his social interactions. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have value and he isn't really smart in certain ways. And I think that's what he's trying to show is like, hey, just because somebody isn't 100% normal doesn't mean they're valueless. And J.R. Isidore is a perfect example of that.
Hey, we have a question from our audience, from Jules, cool. Who says, what are your thoughts on a Blade Runner sequel?
Yeah, apparently Ridley Scott's not going to direct it. I just read that today. So I don't know if that's true, but I don't mind a sequel to Blade Runner, right? Mm-hmm. I'd be a little uncomfortable with someone writing a sequel to Android's Dream of Electric Sheep. I would be nervous about that.
Well, I think that would be within your right, but I mean, we've seen that be successful in other series, like
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, for instance.
Well, that's not what I was thinking of. I was thinking more of, I was going to say Dune, and then I remembered how angry everyone was about some of the Dune books in that series.
Sure,
that were written by other authors later.
It's difficult. Wheel of Time is a great example.
Wheel of Time is a great example of it working.
Although that's like going from notes, and I don't think there are any notes for a Do Android's Dream sequel.
But okay, is not a big sequel writer, right?
No, he doesn't write series.
Yeah.
He has one series of 3 books, the Valus series. That's it. Gotcha. And that's not even finished. The 3rd book didn't ever get finished.
All right. Well, I think, I feel like we keep getting these really great conversations about the ethics of eating animals. Maybe we should do a podcast on that sometime.
Well, I think what we've been doing is we're letting ourselves sidetrack a little, which is cool because we find that we discover these weird topics.
Yeah.
And they're inspired by the books, but I know they're not exactly about the book. So I hope people are enjoying that. Let us know if you're like, stay on topic, or if you're like, no, we love it when you ramble off in the side roads, as long as you come back.
At least it makes a longer podcast. You can say that much for sure.
Sure.
So just to wrap up, as I mentioned, we have a giveaway for the Night Circus, which is our book for December. What month is it? It's the end of November, so this is for December. So if you want to be entered to win that book, head over to patreon.com/swordandlaser and donate at any level, really, and you'll be entered to automatically win as long as you are a Patreon patron by Thursday. That is Thursday Thanksgiving. So nighttime on Thanksgiving here in the U.S. or November 27th, just become a patron and you will automatically be entered to win.
When everyone is stuffed with turkey and pumpkin pie.
You think about us over here at Sword and Laser.
Yeah, go throw us a nickel.
That custard made possible by our patrons.
That's right.
Patrons.
In part. Made impossible in part.
I'm going to call them patrons.
Patron.
Patron.
I am your patron.
Donate to Sword and Laser. Donate. Oh, we need to do something with that.
We'll stop doing that if you donate.
And if you want to get in touch with us, our email address is feedback@swordandlaser.com. Our website is swordandlaser.com. All of our discussions happen over on goodreads.com/swordandlaser. And if you want to call and leave a voicemail, the phone number is 415-7-SWORD-6. We will see you guys next time. So wait, do we have anything weird about the holidays, or we're just back on?
Not yet. Our next one is December 9th, which is the kickoff for the Night Circus, and that's the normal time. Although the book club after that, which will be the wrap-up, will be December 16th, because otherwise we'd be recording it around the Christmas times.
So I have to read the hell out of this book real fast.
Yeah, me too. I think I might have to 2x this one. We'll see.
Right. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.